The importance of efficient navigation cannot be overstated. It's the backbone of user experience, guiding visitors through your digital world seamlessly. Imagine a sidebar that not only enhances this experience but also elevates your site's organization and design. That's exactly what we are diving into today, the art of crafting a dynamic and responsive sidebar in Next.js applications using Tailwind CSS. Hello, fellow developers and design enthusiasts. I am Ayaz Zafar, a seasoned web developer with a passion for crafting beautiful and functional user interfaces. My journey has taken me through various projects where I have leveraged the power of Next.js and Tailwind CSS to create web applications that are not only fast but also aesthetically pleasing. In this tutorial, we will embark on a step-by-step journey to integrate a sidebar into your Next.js project styled to perfection with Tailwind CSS. We will start from the ground up, setting up our development environment and configuring Tailwind CSS for optimal performance. As we progress, you will learn how to construct a basic sidebar layout, add responsive design features, and make it interactive with Next.js powerful routing and state management capabilities. By the end of this session, you will not only have a fully functional sidebar integrated into your project, but also knowledge to customize it to fit your unique design needs. This tutorial will incorporate elements like custom typefaces, colorful gradients, and micro interactions, ensuring your sidebar is not only functional but also in line with latest design aesthetics. These trends highlight the industry's shift toward designs that command attention, emphasize simplicity, and engage users through interactive elements. By applying these principles, your sidebar will not only serve its navigational purpose but also contribute to a memorable user experience. Stay tuned as we delve into the world of Next.js and Tailwind CSS, transforming the way you think about sidebar design in modern web applications. Whether you are looking to enhance an existing project or start a new one from scratch, this tutorial is your gateway to elevating your web development skills. So let's get started. Now we are kicking things off by setting up our project environment. Whether you are a seasoned developer or are just starting, I will guide you through creating a Next.js project and integrating Tailwind CSS. So let's dive in. First things first, let's create our Next.js project. Open your terminal and enter a command that I will type: npx create next-app at latest my sidebar-project and press enter. Here we will select some option like I would like to use TypeScript, I would like to use ESLint, and yes, obviously we need to use Tailwind CSS, and yes, we want to use source directory, and the recommended option is we need to use app directory. So press yes and just press it again, and these are the dependencies that it is going to install. So this command does a few things for us. It uses npx to run the create next-app utility, creating a new project named my sidebar project. We are using at latest to ensure we got the most recent version of Next.js. Okay, once it is done, let's go into our project and open it in your favorite editor. I will be using VS Code. Before we proceed further, let's discuss some best practices for organizing our project files from start. Organize your components into a clear directory structure. For example, keep all your UI components in a components folder and page specific components within pages. Use a consistent naming convention for your files and components. For instance, if you are using Pascal case for your components, for example sidebar.js, stick to it throughout your project. Utilize the public directory. Store the static assets like images and fonts in the public directory. This makes it easier to manage and reference these assets in your project. Keep styles modular. With Tailwind CSS, you will primarily use utility classes within your components. However, for any custom CSS, consider using a modular approach by keeping them in separate CSS files and importing them as needed. Initialize a Git repository if you have not already. Regularly commit your changes with descriptive messages. This practice is crucial for tracking changes and collaborating with others. That wraps up our project setup. You now have a fresh Next.js project with Tailwind CSS installed and ready to go. By following these steps and best practices, you have laid a solid foundation for developing a dynamic and responsive sidebar in your application. So next we will dive into configuring Tailwind CSS and crafting our sidebar layout. Remember, the key to a successful project is not just in tools you use, but in how you organize and manage your resources. So let's make something amazing. Now we will dive into the heart of styling our Next.js project with Tailwind CSS. Configuring Tailwind CSS properly is crucial for leveraging its full potential and ensuring our application runs smoothly and efficiently. So let's get our hands on the configuration files and tweak them to suit our needs for building a responsive sidebar. So this is the tailwind.config.js file. After installing Tailwind CSS, you will find this file in your project root. This file is where you can customize your design system. So let's make a few adjustments to tailor it for our sidebar project. Next is theme customization. Tailwind's theme section lets you define your color palette, typography, breakpoints, and more. For our sidebar, let's add a custom color and define a breakpoint. So in the extend section, I will add a colors property, and within that object I will pass my color custom blue. Okay, let me choose a different one, 243 C5A, and after that I will add a screens section. Okay, now I will pass different breakpoints: SM640, MD768, LG 1024, XL 1280, and then 2XL 1536 pixels. We will look at the post.css.config.js file. This configuration file is used by post.css, a tool Tailwind CSS relies on for processing CSS. You typically don't need to modify this file after initialization, but it's good to review it to ensure it includes Tailwind CSS and auto prefixer plugins. So here it should have the Tailwind CSS plugin and the auto prefixer. Okay. Next we will talk about few Tailwind CSS customization tips. So first one is consistent theming. Use the theme section in the tailwind.config.js to maintain the consistent styling across your project. So define your color palette, fonts, and other design tokens here. The next one is responsive design. Leverage Tailwind's responsive utilities to make your sidebar look great on all devices. Use the screens option in your theme configuration to set custom breakpoints if needed. Next is utility classes. Tailwind's utility first approach allows you to build complex designs with simple CSS classes. However, avoid over customization in tailwind.config.js to keep the utility of Tailwind intact. Next one is plugins. Explore Tailwind's CSS plugins to extend its capabilities. Plugins can add new utilities or components that can be useful for your sidebar design. Configuring Tailwind CSS in your Next.js project sets a solid foundation for styling your application efficiently. By customizing the tailwind.config.js and post.css.config.js files, we have prepared our project for development of a responsive and aesthetically. Next, we will start building the sidebar layout with Tailwind CSS. Remember, a well-configured environment not only enhances performance but also streamlines your workflow, allowing you to focus more on creativity and less on boilerplate. So let's bring our sidebar to life. Now that our project is set up with Tailwind CSS, it's time to focus on what you have been waiting for: building the sidebar layout. Using Tailwind's utility classes, we can create a responsive and stylish sidebar that enhances our application's navigation. So let's dive into the code and design a sidebar that not only looks great but also adapts to different screen sizes. To start, we will construct a simple HTML structure for our sidebar. This will include navigation links that users will interact with. So let's do that. First of all, I will run my project by running the command npm run dev. Okay, I got an error that you are using Node.js 18.16. For Next.js Node.js version, the greater version is required. So let me quickly upgrade my Node.js. You can watch it if you want, and then I will continue. I'm using nvm to manage my installations. So right now you can see this one is installed, but as I want to install the latest stable one, so for that I will run the command nvm ls-remote. This will search internet to see the list of available versions. So you can see a lot of versions are displaying here. So wait for it until it finishes. Okay, so here it is saying that 20.11 is the latest stable version LTS. It is also called iron. So let's copy it and run the command nvm install. Okay, it is saying that now using node 20.11. So let me just check nvm ls. Okay, now it is using the 20.11, but default one is still 18. That's mean if you open a new terminal, it will go back to the older version. So I want to set the 20 as the default one, so I have to run another command. So to set the default version, I will use nvm alias default and pass the version name that you want to set as the default. Okay, now if you run the command again to list the local versions, you will see that this one is the default version. So now let me run another command nvm use. Now let's run the command to see the version of Node.js. For that I will type node-v, press enter, and you will see that this is the latest version that we have now. Okay, now let's run the project again, npm run dev, and this time it is working on the port 3000. So open that. Okay, the project has been started in our browser. So now let's go back to our main file from where this entire design is coming from. So I think it is from the page area. So let's remove everything from page, and here I will return a div. Actually, let's add some multiple things from it. Div nav, within nav we will have a tag plus, actually we need 4 a tags, so I will use static 4, press enter. So it will create 4 tags for us in one go. And now I will add some classes: w-64, h-full, shadow-md, bg-white, and absolute. Okay, now in the nav I will add some classes: text-black, text-base, and font semi-bold. And let's add some classes to all of these anchor tags. So here I will type class name, and then we will type block p-4 hover colon bg gray 50. Save it, and within every a tag we'll add some text. So this is home, this is about, this should be services, and the last one should be contact. Okay, so in this code we have defined a sidebar with a fixed width of 64 units and full height, adding a shadow for depth, and full height adding a shadow for depth. Each navigation link has padding for space and a hover effect for better user interaction. Let me quickly check it in the browser. So this is how it will look like in the browser. You can see this is looking much better. A responsive sidebar adapt to various screen sizes, especially for mobile viewers. With Tailwind CSS, we can achieve this by utilizing responsive utility classes. So let's improve our sidebar that hides on smaller screens and toggles based on user interactions. So for that, let me type it again. Here I will add hidden by default, and from the small screen breakpoint it should start to visible, and then from small the width should be 64 units and the height should be always full, and bg should be white, shadow should be md, and again absolute. Okay, now save it. Okay, let's reduce the screen size. When this screen size is too small, the sidebar is hidden. So by adding the hidden class, the sidebar is hidden by default on small screen. The SM block class then displays the sidebar on screens that are SM, small or larger. So Tailwind CSS offers a plethora of utility classes that allow you to customize your sidebar's appearance. So experiment with different colors, shadows, and spacing to match your project theme. For example, change the background color and text color. You can modify the classes, like here instead of bg white you can add bg custom blue that we added earlier in our tailwind.config. So, and here I will add text white. So this code introduces a custom blue background and white text along with larger shadow for a more pronounced effect. But right now the white text is not visible, so for that I need to remove this code so that it could take the color from the parent. Alright, but on hover we have to change it. So on hover the color should be the custom blue that we added earlier. Hover text custom blue, and let's add it on all other links one by one like that. Okay, now if you hover that, you will see this effect. Now it's your turn to get creative using the utility classes provided by Tailwind CSS. Try customizing your sidebar, experiment with different colors, spacing, and responsive designs. Share your unique designs in comments in the comments below or on social media. We can't wait to see what you come up with. Building a responsive and stylish sidebar in Next.js with Tailwind CSS is not only straightforward but also incredibly flexible. By understanding the basics of HTML structure and Tailwind utility classes, you have now equipped yourself to create navigation that enhances user experience across all devices. Next, we will delve deeper into making our sidebar interactive and even more user-friendly. So remember, the best way to learn is by doing. So take what you have learned today and start experimenting. Integrating a responsive sidebar into your Next.js application enhances navigation and user experience. So now we will cover how to seamlessly blend your sidebar component with Next.js powerful routing and state management features, ensuring a dynamic and interactive user interface. React's use state hook is pivotal for managing sidebars visibility. So let me show you a basic example demonstrating how to toggle the sidebar. First of all, I need to create a navbar. So in the source directory, I will create another folder components, and within that I will create a file navbar.tsx, and now I will export it default function navbar. So here I will return the navbar. So here I will create the classes for navbar. Okay, now let's put this navbar in the page.tsx file. Now I will create another component to move the sidebar into a separate component. So let's do that. Sidebar.tsx, and collapse this div and cut it and move it in the sidebar. Okay, I have created a component and exported it. Now I will paste the code for the sidebar in it. Now let's go to the page.tsx, and here I will add this so that we could add multiple components in it, and after that I will add a sidebar. Okay, you can see that the navigation bar has been added. Okay, now in the navigation bar I need to add a button. Let me add some other code. Okay, the navigation menu has been created in the header as well, and here we need to add the toggle button. Okay, I added this code to add a toggle button. Okay, so this toggle button has been added. If you click on that, it should hide and show the sidebar, but before that we have to pass the click event outside of this component when user clicks on that button. So for that, here I'll need to define the options. Okay, now I will define the props, and that will be receiving a callback function as the parameter. Okay, and here we are telling that we will be receiving a callback function. Alright, now when you click on the button, we should call that on toggle function. So whenever we will click on that, this on toggle function would be called. And now let's go to the page.tsx, and here I will add on toggle function, and then we will pass our callback function here. And now here I need to create a state const is sidebar opened, and here we will import the use state. Okay, and now here I will set the state to the opposite of the current value. So if it is opened, then it will be closed, and if it is closed, then it will be opened. Okay, and now we will add a condition here that if sidebar is opened, then show the sidebar, otherwise don't show it. Alright, now let's quickly test it. Okay, we are getting error. You are importing a component that needs use state. it only works in a client component, but none of its parent are marked with the use client. So for that we need to add the use client on the top. With that the issue would be resolved. Okay, now you can see that the toggle is working. Okay, after that you can add your content, like right now we don't have an image, so I will just remove it. Okay, you can see that it is working. Okay, now another thing is that if we don't set it to justify center, you will see that it is on the left side, and when you open the sidebar it will overlap the content. So to fix that we need to add the margin left or padding left to our content area, and that padding should be added only if the sidebar open is true. So let's add that class. So here I will use the JavaScript instead of string here. Okay, and here I will check. So I'm checking if sidebar is open true, then add this class ml64. Okay, now let's test it. You can see that as soon as the sidebar is open, the margin left has been added and the content is not invisible anymore. Okay, and this is fully responsive, as you can see. So there are problems that it is not visible at all in the mobile view. So let's go to the navbar in the sidebar and see what mistake we have done here. Okay, we have to show it, we have to remove the hidden class based on the condition. So we have to receive a parameter from the props. Okay, now I will use the JavaScript instead of the string. So here add the curly braces, add the string, and now we will remove the hidden class from here and add it based on the condition, like that. And here I will check if the sidebar is open, then show block, otherwise show the hidden. Okay, and here I will pass the prop. Okay, now it is working, but the problem is that the width is too small in the mobile device. So go to the sidebar and let's improve the width, or maybe width should be 64 always. Okay, so even in the mobile phone it should be 64, and I believe that in the mobile phone there should not be padding left in the content. So go to the page.ts, and so I will remove the ml class in the mobile phone. So for that I will add sm::ml64. Now you will see that margin will not be added in the mobile phone, but if you make it full screen in the larger screens, the margin would be added. Okay, so in this code we control the sidebar's visibility with the boolean state. The sidebar component is conditionally rendered based on the state, toggled by a button click. Next.js provides link component for client-side route navigation, offering a smoother experience than traditional page reloads. When integrating with a sidebar, use the link tag or component for navigating between pages. So let's fix that. So go to the sidebar, and instead of a tags, let's add the link tag here instead. Make sure to import it from next/link and pass it the path. Okay, and let's add other links. Okay, you will see not any difference, but now it is using the right way to use the link tags. So this usage ensures that your application benefits from Next.js optimized routing, including prefetching and code splitting. Now let's combine these concepts to create one last thing that I would like to do is that to improve our structure. So we should move everything from page to the layout section. So let's do that. I'm going to cut this state and move it in the layout. Let me add it here, and then let's cut it as well and move it to the layout. In the body tag before the children I will add it, and also let's move this closing tag of div and move it to the layout before closing of the body tag. Save it. Now let's import the missing imports, add all missing imports. Okay, let me fix it. All right, now you can see that the page.tsx is too simple, no complications, just the content that you want to place. Okay, now we have the same issue. We need to move the use client into the layout because we are using the states here. All right, so we have to remove the metadata as well. Everything is working fine like before. Integrating a responsive sidebar in Next.js using React hooks for state management and link component for navigation offers a dynamic and efficient way to enhance your application's UI. This approach ensures that sidebar is not only visually appealing but also fully functional, providing users with seamless navigation experience. By following these steps, you have now equipped the Next.js application with a responsive interactive sidebar that leverages the best of React and Next.js routing capabilities, setting a solid foundation for further UI development and enhancements. Throughout this tutorial, we have embarked on a comprehensive journey to design and integrate a responsive sidebar into Next.js applications, leveraging the power of flexibility of Tailwind CSS. So this is what we have covered so far. Project setup. We started by setting up a new Next.js project and installing Tailwind CSS, laying the groundwork for our development environment. Next, we did some Tailwind CSS configuration. We dove into the configuring Tailwind CSS for optimal performance in our Next.js project, highlighting the importance of customizing the tailwind.config.js and post.css.config.js files to align with our design needs. Next, we explored the process of creating a basic sidebar layout using the Tailwind CSS utility classes, emphasizing responsive design consideration to ensure our sidebar looks great on all devices. Next, we demonstrated how to integrate the sidebar into Next.js application, focusing on routing and state management for toggling visibility, and provide a practical example of simple navigation structure. Now that you have learned how to create a responsive sidebar in Next.js applications with Tailwind CSS, I encourage you to apply these concepts in your projects. Experiment with different designs, play around with Tailwind utility classes, and see how you can enhance your application's user experience. If you have found this tutorial helpful, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more tutorials on Next.js, Tailwind CSS, and web development in general. Your feedback and questions are invaluable to us, so don't hesitate to share with them in comment section below. For those of you looking to deepen your knowledge in Next.js, Tailwind CSS, or web development, our channel has a wealth of tutorials and series designed to elevate your skills. From beginner-friendly introductions to advanced topics, we have got you covered. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell to stay updated on new content. Your engagement helps us grow and continue providing high-quality tutorials. Be sure to check out the end screen for links to related videos, playlists, or to subscribe to our channel if you have not already. These resources are curated to further your learning and ensure you have access to a wide range of information to boost your web development journey.